There's a lot of people that still believe that Taiwan is a friend. And we understand that the government is, taking the considerations, what thing that is best for the country.
Anyone cried because of this? Have you?
I am sure, yes. Actually, 我们在台湾的宏都拉斯人，我们都真的很感谢。They have helped us many, many times, and they have given us scholarships. They have prepared.
Merhaba, konnichiwa.
Привет.
Ciao.
Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video it's going to be very special because we are going to talk about this relationship between Honduras and Taiwan. As you know, already both countries cut the relations, and we have a friend from Honduras. His name is Fernando.
Nice to meet you all.
First of all, thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm so happy to have you here, and want to ask you the same question. What happened between your country and Taiwan, and then everything is gone?
Well, I think that this political consideration started a long time ago, I will say, because during the presidential campaign, the now president-elect, Ms. Xiomara Castro de Zelaya, she had already basically said that, during her first 100 days in government, she was planning to establish a relationship with China. And after that, there was a lot of debate at the time whether this was the best decision or not. Some people was throwing in the consideration of what could happen with the relationship with the U.S. because we have been very close to that government, and whether this decision will be something that they will be against or not. Mm-hmm. So after the election, there was not a lot of discussion about it.
This happened when did happen this thing?
It was almost around 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Close to 2 years ago during the presidential campaign.
She said that
in one of her speeches, yes, she had already said her intention was to do this. So, but then when she took office, the vice president of Taiwan actually came to the inauguration. A vice president of the United States also came to the inauguration. Okay. So there was a lot of calm regarding that topic. Many people, including me, thought that the relationship was stable and that it would be maintained. And then it stayed like that for basically all last year until at the beginning of this year. There was a meeting between the ministers of foreign affairs, between Minister Reina from Honduras and the Minister of foreign affairs from China in Brazil. They met there because
last year.
Yeah, this year actually.
This year.
Yes, it was around January, and it was because the presidential inauguration of President Lula in Brazil.
Okay.
And that's where they met. And the news that were reported at the time, it was that during their conversations, basically Honduras was asking about the possibility of the Chinese government or the Chinese institutions to finance a hydroelectrical project that is called Patuca 2. Mm-hmm. And basically that project, they're trying to build this dam. It's basically a dam to try to solve the energy crisis that Honduras is facing, because we are lacking a lot of
so
resources.
They talk about the thing in Brazil.
Yes, that's correct. And at that time, after it was reported in the news, the minister was asked about that, the Minister Reina from Honduras, and then basically there was a kind of a reply from I think it was the ambassador in Costa Rica that said that basically any help will have to be evaluated from the standpoint of what is their attitude towards the diplomatic relationship between those two countries.
It's I'm going to help you, but
yes.
The thing is, you want me or Taiwan?
I
so
think
you have
that
to decide,
yes. I mean, I don't think that it was publicly spoken like that or reported.
I know, but maybe behind the
But yeah, it's something that probably happened, and it's something that that I think that's how people interpret it. And basically, because of the how do you call it, the need that the Honduran government has, because I think that the consideration that they're making is that they can get maybe a lot more financial resources from the government of China, and a lot of a bigger share of the market if they go to do business with them.
I see.
And there's people on the other side that think that that Taiwan is a friend. That
I know it's how many years?
It's 82 years. It's 82 years of friendship. So there's many people that is saying in January when this debate started to come out in the media, they were oh, but Taiwan is a friend. There was a lot of support from media and from political experts and from people basically saying they have helped us many, many times, and they have given us scholarships. They have prepared our people. They're friends. So actually,
we both came with the scholarships.
Yeah, I came with a scholarship as well. And I couldn't tell you what's the percentage of people that is pro and against, but I can tell you that it's a very divided decision, and that there's people on both sides.
I see.
And that basically the considerations that the government is making saying is probably like, what's best to get more resources to fix many of the issues that we have. But there's a lot of people that still believe that Taiwan is a friend and that that we are, as brothers,
I know, because it's maybe mainly more about, as you know, like countries are looking for benefits.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe they got some other offers, I don't know. They want to choose China for their future. What was the effect on the students?
Well, I mean, basically there was a lot of panic and fear because like many of these students, like of course, like these students were not asked about this decision, and they came to Taiwan, leaving their families behind, leaving their friends behind, leaving everything that they knew behind. And then one morning, you get this news, and then it's panic, and then basically I have collaborated with NGOs before. I work with NGOs that build schools in like rural areas in Honduras. I have worked with a project that brings information to thousands of students about scholarships throughout the world. And in here, I'm the advisor of the Honduran Association.
I see.
And basically they started like texting me, like what does this mean? What do we do? What's gonna happen with the scholarship? So basically, I started providing guidance to them and like telling them, okay, this is what I believe that could happen. This is what I believe that we could do, that you can do. And we have contacted like some, universities that have already expressed their willingness to help these students. And I would like to.
That Taiwan said, okay, no problem. I'm going to help you.
Yes,
right?
Actually, like I want to thank publicly like the Taiwanese government and the Taiwanese people for being so kind and so gentle, because the Minister of Foreign Affairs has already said in the press conference that they're gonna let the students finish their semester, which is already great, because there's around like 40 students that are about to graduate, and for them, they will be they will be allowed to finish their programs, and then they can go back to Honduras. And for the rest of the people that is still there, like this gives us some time to try to find solutions.
They can
some Taiwanese universities have expressed their willingness to provide support. Yes, in some of them, offer like a tuition waiver. Some of them, some kind of financial support. Right now, some of them have not really replied, but like we're talking to them, and also we're trying to talk to the government to give this opportunity to students that really want to stay in Taiwan, because some of them have been here for like 2, 3 years, 4 years, like
they don't want to go back. They love here. I have met so many Honduras people. They love to be in Taiwan.
Yeah, and it's like it's a matter of like they feel that this country has been very nice to them. Like I said, I owe everything that I am to Taiwan, and even this decision is not something that I can change. It's not something that it was asked to me, and we understand that the government is taking the considerations, what thing that is best for the country. But these students should also be given the chance of deciding what is best for them, because like many of them really love Taiwan, and many of them are trying to, even if they cannot get like the same scholarship that they had before, they're still trying to find ways to stay here, because it's not only that they want. It's also, the consideration that some of them are very advanced in their studies, and like leaving and having to start over again means years of their life that are never gonna come back. And for the students that are finishing like their year of Chinese, they will have to learn to how to read and to write again, because like in China they use like simplified, and in here it's traditional Chinese. It's time. It's time. It's effort, and really it's like it's better if it's like an option and not really something that they are that they have to do, because there is no other option.
Did anyone cry because of this? Have you?
I am sure, yes. Like actually, like some of them, like when they called me, like I could hear their voices breaking. I heard some
crying because they don't want to go.
It's not so much like at the beginning it was not so much, because at the beginning they didn't even know that this was an option. Remember that this thing of going to China just came like 2 days ago, I think.
You didn't know that like a couple of months ago. You didn't know this gonna happen.
Yeah, and even when they announced the rupture, they still didn't know that there was like there was gonna be an offer from China to go there or anything. At the beginning, it was just they were crying out of panic, of not knowing what to do and not knowing what's gonna happen, and their parents were also like very freaked out, because of course, like imagine like having your son on the other side of the planet and then not knowing what's gonna happen to him. What could be worse for a parent than that?
Oh, and they cannot come here because
cannot come here. They don't have the resources to do that.
Families,
yeah, there are some of these scholarships were given to students from very low income families. Some of them, I have heard from students, my mom didn't even finish like elementary school. She only made she got to 9th grade, and that's it. We have a parent that doesn't have a leg, and that he has to work the fields, even so, because he doesn't have any other way. Like
he skips here.
his kid is here thanks to a scholarship that Taiwan gave him. He cannot even dream of coming to Taiwan under this situation, and there are many cases like that.
I'm really so appreciate. I really appreciate Taiwanese people's help, like to everyone. My country, you know, because of the earthquake, Taiwan
Yes,
had
also donations.
A lot of donations, and your country, many countries, Taiwan, Taiwanese people are really working hard for the world, and I hope we can do something as an individual, not me, because we are not politicians.
Right.
We can help Taiwan to let them have more voice on the planet. And also, you are living here for 8 years.
Yes, that's correct. Like
we are also, feel ourselves like Taiwanese after some time.
Yeah, no, of course, and you know, like for me, like I said, like this is a super sad decision, and it's something that, you know, like it shook me to my core, and I was like, you know, like I was like, you know, I just felt hopeless because like I said, like I understand that, you know, like the decision that the president is making is probably being taken, like, you know, to favor the Honduran people in general, but as somebody that loves Taiwan, of course, this decision for me is very sad.
I know.
So, and I know many students here feel the same way. And you know, like you said, I came here with a scholarship, you know, Taiwan ICDF. Then I started working. Then I got a scholarship again to study Chinese from the Taipei City government. And now I've been working 3 years in Solomon Technology Corporation as a senior project manager. They work with artificial intelligence and technology. And I couldn't have dreamed of having, like, you know, this kind of life if I would have stayed in Honduras. Taiwan changed my life. Taiwan changed my life for good. And it's something that I will be thankful for the rest of my life. And I know that there are many of these students that feel exactly the same.
I know, like, not just Honduras people, me.
Yeah, exactly. Me, like, everything that one has been benefited.
Yeah. And Taiwan gave me scholarship, and now I have my family, I have my kids, I have a life here, I have a family, I have many of my achievements happen in Taiwan. That's why I want to ask you many questions about and share your feelings. Thank you very much. Would you like to say something to Taiwanese people in Chinese? Because 他会讲中文，但是这次影片比较舒服，让他讲英文比较多。What do you want to say in Chinese?
对，因为这个事情很复杂，所以我觉得英文比较好。可是我要谢台湾，因为我知道现在我们政府的决定对你们可能不好，可是我想说，我们在台湾的学生，我们在台湾的宏都拉斯人，我们都真的很感谢，因为我们知道你们对我来说，你们很任性。你们帮我很多，你们给我一个新的生活，所以我真的要说，台湾是我第二个的家，所以真的谢谢台湾，谢谢台湾人，谢谢。
I thank you， 谢谢你，谢谢你，各位朋友们，我非常感谢 Fernando 带来的资讯，从他的角度看这件事情，我相信很多台湾的朋友当然会难过，但是呢，我们还是要看未来，未来我们还有很多的机会，一定要跟世界接轨，要多交流。我们可以增加台湾的曝光。这个影片的目的是这个，想要帮台湾发声。然后呢，可以的话呢，帮我分享这个影片，然后你们也可以留言告诉我，你们觉得这件事情的意思是什么？你们怎么看这件事情？然后呢，我们一起来讨论，然后呢，增加台湾的国际观，培养更多的国际观。然后呢，最后一定要订阅我的频道，期待下一个影片。No problem, brother. We love you. And 台湾加油！
台湾加油！